FRS out front. Mine, in fact, is going to peel off and head to pit lane in just a moment. Look at that beautiful shot. The field packed up, paired up very, very nicely. And as the field comes around down the hill, pace car pulls off. It's time to go racing. GRIDLIFE Rush Series, race number 4 from Circuit Legends, a celebration of grassroots racing and the cars that inspired a generation. Which generations are inspired by the GRIDLIFE Rush Series? Here we go, green flag, and we're underway. And Leach, nice even start with Hosey. Look up the inside, here comes Nate Hamilton, 3 wide.
He's giving a push to Ryan Leach, does James French. Oh, big lockup. I think that's, sorry, that was big lockup in the back, but the top 4 got a good getaway from the rest of the field. And Andy Vocals managed to, he's got James French on his inside into turn 3. He'll take that position back.
Oh, look at Hosey and Leach. They're side by side for the lead. Door to door through turn 4. And now James French clear of Andy Vocal. It's going to chase these two up the Paul Newman straight, up to the uphill. Who wins the battle there?
Ryan's on the defensive. Blair Hosey sends it on the inside up the uphill. James French is going to want to take advantage of this.
Nowhere to go. Left, right, everybody juking and driving contact with the leader. James French is right behind it, but Ryan Leach almost lost control with contact from Blair Hosey. They stay line of stern now in the first run through the downhill. That
was some aggressive defending from Ryan Leach. Good job from Blair Hosey and James French to avoid any further complications from that. Somebody's well into the dirt on the outside of the last turn.
Yeah, and again, championship points changing the battles here. Ryan Leach, 406 points earned. Vocal, 324, sitting the way that they are. Of course, the weekend points as well are going to be hanging in the balance based on the way that the positions sit here. As we come through turn number 3, we'll make our way around. Yeah, Leach in command of Hosey.
Yeah, back line astern with a very similar top 5 to what we've seen all weekend. Leach, Hosey, French, Vocal, and Bratz.
Yeah, again, Leach did a nice job clinging to the car, because when they came up over the crest last time by, Blair Hosey got in the rear bumper of Leach and unsettled it. But Leach now just trying to do what he's done the first 12 races of the year and just drive away with no real competition.
Yeah, honestly speaking, that was a pretty aggressive, not dangerous, but risky move from Leach to throw the block on Hosey, because that could have ended both of their races pretty easily.
And why does this matter? Because whoever wins this race wins the weekend. Hosey, actually, that's incorrect. So Hosey is leading by 1 point over Ryan Leach. So if Leach stays here, it's not going to be enough points. He needs Hosey to lose a spot to James French if Leach wants to win this weekend. And for French and Vocal, 1 point between them. A position swap there changes the podium.
Yeah, but if Hosey loses a position to French, he's going to lose the weekend championship. So I'm sure French knows this, and I'm sure Hosey knows this. So they're going to be fighting aggressively here to see if French can get a Hosey. But Hosey might just be taking it easy now. Maybe he knows that he doesn't need to be winning this to win the weekend. So he's kind of sitting back, playing it safe, so he doesn't let James French get a hold of him for that second place spot.
Through the downhill, turn 7. Leach in command, and he hasn't really been in this commanding of a position since our last outing at a festival at GRIDLIFE Midwest. But Road America was not a great weekend for him in that 56 car.
Mersberger with a move on Hamilton. Excuse me, on Hughes. He tried to make the move on Hughes down to turn 1. I don't know if he completed it.
And again, the top 4, they've been so close this weekend, but it has seemed like it's been Leach and Hosey swapping positions back and forth, and then French and Vocal swapping back and forth. But James French, I would love to sneak a second place away from Blair Hosey.
Yeah, and Vocal would love to sneak the 3rd place away from French. That would put him back on top in the weekend points. So it seems like Vocal has kind of gotten used to his car without the front splitter in great shape. So maybe French makes a mistake, and Vocal can take advantage of that.
It's a lot of laps to go. 11 minutes and 20 seconds. The gap between Leach and Hosey was 0.483 last time by. It'll still be something similar this time, but maybe a little bigger, 0.714. And again, the points have not shifted yet because we haven't changed positions, but Leach again, 1 point away from tying Hosey here. But again, if Hosey loses the spot to James French in 3rd, then Leach would win the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not a done deal yet. These cars can be tricky to drive, and in these conditions, after drift has been out here in the hot sun, the track has the least amount of grip it's had all weekend. So we'll see how all of these guys adapt to that. Mersberger has set the fastest time here, down in 8th place, getting past Hughes.
Up over the crest at the uphill and into West Bend, perhaps one of the more challenging corners on the racetrack. Big curb on the inside and pretty restrictive exit curbing there. But down through the downhill. Again, Ryan Leach, once he gets clean air on his nose, he just knows how to execute and just be clinical about where he places the car. That makes it really hard for anyone to reel him back in.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to see the difference in how these guys brake. Yes, right there. Leach is a lot more stable on the brakes for whatever reason. Blair, every time I see him go to the brakes, that tail is wagging around there. And just as I say that, Leach had a little bit of a moment heading into turn 2.
Yeah, but Hosey had a slightly better lap. He had just got the best lap of the race, and by 0.2 over Ryan Leach, so I wouldn't count him out just yet.
Yeah,
even though Hosey's looked a little more ragged on the brakes, it was a little quicker last time by.
Absolutely not, and the gap between Volkel and French and Hosey is much smaller, so Volkel's kind of catching James French a little bit, so we'll see how that shakes out. The rest of the field, they're pretty much line astern all the way through the top 10 or so, so all eyes are going to be on this battle here. It's one of the closest on track.
Man, Ryan Leach looks so composed. I mean, without a mistake, it will be really challenging to run him back down. When he gets clear track like this, he can just run qualifying laps for the next 10 minutes.
Absolutely. It's really impressive to see his consistency. Turn in, turn after turn after turn. Coming through turn 3 now. Nice clinical late apex through 3, getting a little bit of curbing on the inside, setting up. It's an early apex in 4 because of how much camber there is in that turn, and then you let the car come out the exit of 4 into the straight that's not really a straightaway, and then up at the hill. It's an early apex. You let the hill catch you as you come up. Yeah. You get as close to that wall as possible, and then you do kind of a middle apex here at West Bend, and you try to avoid the inside curve because it's so big. TJ Hunt with the move.
Yeah, this is Ethan Alexander to his outside. I think that's Ayrton Grimm just ahead of him. Side by side over the crest of the hill. That was really tight.
Yeah, close battles. The uphill is not really a place you tend to make a pass here, but these cars can do it because of how small they are.
Yeah, you just get a little bit more racetrack to use. Brett DiGiacomo is chasing Hughes there, Gage Hughes. TJ Hunt, did he come out the other side of that? He did. Ahead of Ethan Alexander still too. There's DiGiacomo and Hughes side by side into turn 1.
Yeah, nice move from DiGiacomo. Hughes right behind him. He's going to try and reclose that gap, heading into turn 3 now.
And then there's Nate Hamilton in the yellow car behind. Then behind Hamilton is, I think that's Ayrton Grimm, and indeed it is. And he's splitting the Team Rapscallion cars with TJ Hunt just in the background with the Sunoco logo on the nose.
Yeah, I think Hamilton, he was 7th or so, and I think he was the one that had that moment in the last turn. He dropped all the way down into 11th with that.
And trouble for AJ Campo, turn 1. And I hear the engine fired back up. It sounded like it had stalled. And she's going to try to get away, but there will be a yellow at sector 1 for now.
Yep, standing yellow. You see it right there on your screen. That means no passing here, which is difficult because this is the best overtaking opportunity on the whole track. And she is getting going.
Yeah, she is rolling. So that yellow, I think, is going to clear pretty quick. And it has not yet, but she's rolling, so that should go away.
Yep.
There's Bryce Mersberger and Jason Ayler trading spots. That's for 6th.
Yep. And that's clean. That's behind. That's after the yellow flag zone, so that's a clean move from him. Mersberger now heading up. You can hear the splitters scraping as they go up the hill. It's a big hill with a big elevation change, and it's no surprise that the splitters are scraping there. AJ Campo still on the outside of 2 now, trying to rejoin.
Yeah, just trying to figure out where to get back on track safely.
Yep. That yellow flag's going to be cleared here very soon.
And it is cleared at sector 1,
yep.
So that's good news for us here. We'll stay green. But Ryan Leach just ran the best lap of the race, and we talked about how good he is.
Clinical.
You just give him clear. Oh, actually, AJ Campo's still stuck over there at the exit of 1. They don't have the yellow at turn 1, but now at turn 2.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh boy,
Hamilton with a big lockup.
And he got by the 51.
I didn't see the yellow as it passed through that station. No yellow, so that is a clean pass from him. Though that's weird that there's no yellow there. Yeah. She's on the outside of the exit of 2, and Hunt bumps him out of the way.
TJ saw that hole, he went for it, and he's through Gage Hughes. Ethan Alexander will be the next driver to pickpocket the 51.
Was that Grimm or Hughes?
It's Hughes. Grimm's just up the road between TJ and Nate.
Yep. So, man, he really pushed his way through there in turn 3 on the inside. Hamilton almost lost it with a big lockup into 1, but he made it work. as they go through West Bend now.
The dust kicking up as they come down the hill. Ayrton Grimm chasing Nate Hamilton. Grimm again, this is a new chassis for them this weekend. Look at him balancing the thing on the edge of grip. And he's gonna have a run here on Hamilton. Hamilton goes defensive into turn 1.
Big run for Ayrton. He's gonna try and take the outside. No, he goes back to the outside. So they stay together, back to back. Orlina Stern through 1.
Nate was sideways there. I think AJ's clear of the racetrack, so I think we're good.
Yep, let's see if Ayrton can set up a move here. Hamilton's very, very defensive on the entry of 3. It doesn't seem to really slow him down for 4. So he's going to stay ahead of Ayrton and his buddy TJ Hunt right behind him.
Out of the background, Gage Hughes still feeling some pressure from behind. Ethan Alexander, Lee Keller, all over the back of him still too. So potential shifts and shuffles there with 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, meanwhile, while this exciting battle is happening, just an update, the top 4 in the same position they were before. The gap's increasing between all of them, so this is where the fun is out on track.
Yeah, Bryce Mersberger and Nico Bratz for 5th place. Nico in the bright red car in Big Bend. The white and red is Mersberger, who has had an up and down weekend with mechanical issues and such, but the pace is still there.
Yeah, he's showing his pace here, moving all the way back up into 5th place, which I think is where he qualified for that first race. And now he's just setting his laps. He's going to try and catch the top 4, but they're pretty far ahead of him up the road.
4 minutes to go. And all the while, battles happening everywhere in the field here. But Nate Hamilton and Ayrton Grimm, it is about to be a Team Rapscallion sandwich. And Ayrton Grimm is right in the middle of it.
Yeah, and they're both fairly aggressive passers, so we'll see whether Ayrton reacts to that well. He's coming up right on Hamilton into West Bend.
We'll see if they get him on the downhill here in just a moment. There's DiGiacomo chasing, I think that's Parati, yes, 8th place. And then into the shot here in a moment. There's Nate Hamilton and no,
Hunt's gone.
Where is TJ Hunt?
I don't know if he tried to make a move on Grimm and just didn't make it stick. I wonder what happened. No, I still haven't seen him coming through the start finish.
Here he is. Yeah, might have just looped it and continued. He's still on track, but down a couple of spots.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what happened there, but Ayrton stayed nice and tidy, staying right behind Hamilton. Let's see if he can give him something to worry about in the next 3 or 4 laps.
Yeah, Ayrton right on the heels of Hamilton. This is for a top 10 spot here.
He's looking nice and tidy, but Hamilton isn't making any mistakes. That's what Ayrton's going to have to do. He's going to have to wait for a mistake from Hamilton to catch him and then try and find a way past him, probably into turn 1. That's the best overtaking opportunity on this track. As they come up over the uphill.
Yeah, Leach still extending his lead now, almost 3.5 seconds clear of Hosey. Look at Grimm all over the back of Nate Hamilton. Down the downhill here, the yellow car in front.
Whoa.
This is for 10th place. Grimm in the slipstream, but where do you go?
Let's see what Hamilton chooses. He's choosing the inside.
And DiGiacomo really charged turn 1 in bracing Parati there, almost went off the road. Hamilton wide, Grimm closes in. Hamilton's drifting through turn 1.
Yeah, right on the limit. A nice line, honestly, and Grimm is trying to cut that distance around the tight line in turn 1 and 2, but it doesn't get him. Oh, it takes a lot of curbing in 3. I haven't seen rush cars take that much curbing in 3 here.
Yeah, it's flatter curbing than the other apexes, so you can get up onto it. It's still going to rattle the cage a lot there, but...
Well, he's young. His back can take it.
Yeah, he sure can.
I'm sure if some of us were in there, our backs would be hurting after that.
Lap traffic for the leaders. Blair Hosey in 2nd place, navigating by a couple.
French as well. French has closed the gap to Hosey to it was less than a second. It is less than a second, 7/10. Not sure how much traffic has played a role there.
Yeah, and again, Ryan Leach only 800ths quicker on the best lap, but that has allowed him to make up quite a bit of distance on Blair Hosey. Remember the weekend point scenario with Hosey and French, that if French were to get by Blair Hosey, then it would flip the script for who wins the weekend. As they run, Hosey is winning the weekend event, but if he loses 2nd place, Leach would win the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're coming through lap traffic now, and it's going to be interesting to see how these 2 drivers go through it, but I see start finish holding that white flag. Here we go, white flag right now.
Last lap for Ryan Leach, and he's got 1.5 miles left to pick up another win, and this one in dominant form. But Blair Hosey, I don't know if he knows exactly how critical it is to keep James French behind him, but if he knew, he would not let the 70 car even get close.
Yeah, absolutely, and French, I'm sure, knows the circumstances too. He wants to be at least vocal in the weekend championship, which currently he is. If they finish as they are, he would win. He would get third place in the weekend championship. It's looking pretty good for Leach and Hosey here.
Over the crest for the final time, Ryan Leach, and he has been so solid. This would be his 14th win of the season. Yeah,
a great drive from Ryan Leach. A little bit of an aggressive defense, but fair. So he manages to hold on, and here he comes.
Ryan Leach, 14th win on the season, extends his championship advantage, and Ryan Leach wins GRIDLIFE Rush Series Race 4 for Hosey and French. It was closer than we wanted it to be, likely by 0.4 of a second. Hosey over French, over Vocal, over Mersberger. Bryce Mersberger took the fastest lap of the race there right at the end.
Yeah, really impressive. I think he made up 3 or 4 spots there, so great run for him. That's Perotti looking to get on Giacomo. No, excuse me, Mersberger? That's a lap car, excuse me.
So, the finishers finish up here. Your weekend winners, unofficially, Blair Hosey, Ryan Leach, and James French. Now that's always pending all results post-race, but that should be how they sort out here at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, a great weekend, a great battle, both for first and for third here in this weekend championship. Really awesome to watch the top 10 fights throughout the top 10 and top 15. Overall, one of the better rush weekends, one of the more fun ones to watch for sure.
Let's have a look at our race results here for the GRIDLIFE Rush Series. Ryan Leach, Blair Hosey, James French, Andy Vocal, and Bryce Mersberger, your top 5. And of course, Hosey will win the weekend over Leach, over French. So really, really tight, great racing there. Jason Ayler had struggled with his performance as far as the handling was concerned last race. Brett DiGiacomo up inside the top 10. Nate Hamilton holds off Ayrton Grimm by, let's see what the gap was, by 0.3 of a second. Then Ethan Alexander, Gage Hughesly, Kellert, Matt Wilson, and then TJ Hunt dropped a couple spots, ended up 18th after a slip up at West Bend with a couple laps to go.
Yeah, great race from the top 15. Michael Woodward in 21st, Joseph Tang 22nd, Bill Dorrance in 23rd, Jeff Hardesty in 24th, Paul Klitsch in 25th, and AJ Campo, who had that problem in turn 1, in 26th.
Let's have a look here at the highlights for GRIDLIFE Rush Series race number 4 as the field heads back into the pit lane. GRIDLIFE Rush Series Race 4 on Saturday afternoon. Blair Hosey, Ryan Leach side by side into one. Big lockups here in the center of the field, Ito. But first lap was all things pretty good. We carried on with this battle with Ayler and Nico Bratz early on in the race, but Leach took the lead and started to drive away.
Yeah, it was an intense battle in the top 4, and then the battle kind of got more intense in 5th through 10th for the second half of the race.
And then down through turn number 7. Got into some lap traffic. That kind of mixed things up here towards the end of this race with drivers taking big swings at each other. There's Ryan Leach driving into the mix, then Blair Hosey trying to catch the 56, but also defending from the 70 of James French. And he needed one more spot, or Andy Vocal did if he wanted to end up on the podium, but checkered flag there for Ryan Leach in race number 4. We'll be back with more.